Hello, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the FPL Duo. This is the deadline stream for Game Week 33. Before we get into this stream, make sure you guys obviously give this video a like, subscribe for more, and leave a comment in this down below if you wish as well. Now, obviously, Huss is unable to participate in the stream due to real life commitments, so I'll be taking this deadline stream for you guys ahead of Game Week 33. So, without further ado, let's see. Obviously, on the screen, that's my team at the moment going forward. And before I get into obviously the team, my bench has suffered another loss. Semenyo is now red flagged, and he was actually my only bench option available, and now that's completely gone now. So yeah, I'm hampered with a lot of injuries on the bench, and every time I transfer in a player to replace an injured player on the bench, it seems to always be that player also gets injured too. So yeah, obviously I'll be talking about my transfer plans throughout this deadline stream, but first of all, let's just go through what my starting 11 looks like. So in goal, I have gone with Leno. I think Areola isn't going to play against Fulham at home, so I have to play Leno anyway against West Ham away. I'm not expecting a clean sheet, but I got the other choice but to play Leno in goal for this week. Line up with the back three, we've got currently Doughty, Brantford, and Gabriel. I think all those fixtures potentially are no clean sheets in them whatsoever. Yeah, I think there's not going to be many clean sheets. I don't think for me this week. I think the goalkeeper will concede, back three will concede, so I'm not going to be heavily reliant on those. Preferably, attacking returns would be nice from any of those three if they can deliver. But let's move on to the midfield five. Gordon, Salah, Palmer, Saka, and Son. I mean, that's a really strong midfield five I have, and I don't think I can get any better than that, to be honest. But yeah, that's how I'm lined up. Heavy in the midfield. So hopefully there's a lot of points coming from that midfield because they're definitely not coming from my defence. Highly unlikely. I think the midfield has got the majority points right there for me. So hopefully all those players in the midfield do pay off. And starting up front, we've got Haaland and Muniz, who both have a nice fixture as well. Now, Haaland's a funny one because he may not start and he might be benched. That's what I've been hearing the rumours talking about, obviously, Haaland. So in terms of captaincy, I think I'm going to stay away from that. But I think he'll probably start, but I probably won't take the risk if he is surprisingly benched from, obviously, the way Man City are playing fixtures midweek as well. But I think, he should play, in my opinion. And yeah, just speaking about the bench at the start of the stream, I've got no bench, so I have to hope that all my starting 11 players actually start in their teams. Otherwise, I'm going to be a bit of a predicament. But obviously, the transfer plans will change that. I won't have a complete ruled out bench. I will have maybe a standing player to obviously be there in case of any shocking team lineups. But yeah, it's not great, especially when I want a bench boost to 37. And at the moment, I currently have no bench players. It's going to be quite a lot of work, especially with no chips either. I've only got bench boost left to fix that headache. But for now, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to get through these game weeks and the double game weeks coming up because that's further down the line. But there's a few of you in the chat. Let me take a few of your comments. So we got one from Sin who says, Ain't Nuri is expected to play. Let me just check actually on Ain't Nuri because I know Huss had him in his team and I think he was taking Ain't Nuri out when we spoke earlier on. So I don't know if he's going to be available to play or not, but I'll see what's been said about him. and what his injury situation is like. Okay, so yeah, the manager hoped it was merely a precautionary move for when he was taken off against West Ham, and he'll be fit for the following weekend, and is expected to be in the squad to face Nottingham Forest. So yeah, with that insight, because he has a calf injury though, and he's a doubt for 75%, he could play against Nottingham Forest this week. So yeah, I wouldn't rule out Aït-Nouri completely. I think he possibly could start, but just in case he doesn't, make sure you have a bench replacement for Aït-Nouri. But I would probably play him, and if you do have him, and see. Just in answering that question, I'll probably play Aït-Nouri, but make sure you just have bench cover for him, just in case he doesn't start in that game. And also, you also have KDB. Should I start him? Captain KDB would be a good idea. The only thing with captain a midfielder for Man City now is the rotation. It's the rotation around Pep's squad, which I don't trust. I think in terms of captaincy, I would be staying away from any Man City midfielder because there is a possibility of benching. And I wouldn't want to take that risk in case KDB is, surprisingly benched in his fixture against Luton at home. So I'll probably start KDB, but I wouldn't captain him for this week, even though he has a nice fixture and it most likely will start. But it's hard to know with Pep. It's really hard to know but then again, Foden is out injured and he's unlikely to obviously play. He's a doubt, but it was only a knock. And Pep wasn't too concerned about him, so it was a dead leg for Foden. But yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty with Man City midfielders. But I would probably play KDB, but maybe captain someone else, Sin, who's more likely to start or not at risk of not starting. Hi, Jenny. Good morning. Would you start Solanke or Chris Wood? Solanke has Man United, which is, I thought in terms of Bournemouth, that's a good fixture because we know how Man United do concede goals and haven't played to their best this season. On the other hand, Chris Wood is on kind of a hot streak at the moment with his goal spree for Nottingham Forest. I believe he's consecutively. We'll check this for the moment because, yeah, 4 game weeks in a row he has scored a goal. So since game week 29, he's scored 1 goal each against each team that Nottingham Forest have faced. So you know what? I like differentials, and I quite like Chris Wood. If I had him, I would probably play him over Solanke, just to be different. I think if you're chasing rank as well, I probably would go for Chris Wood. I just have a feeling that Chris Wood will get more points than Solanke will, even though I'm very doubtful Man United in that game. But I think Chris Wood would outscore him this week. And Chris Wood's ownership is really low. He's only a 2.2% ownership, which I think I'd gamble on Solanke's higher ownership to play him and see if he can obviously get something out of his out of the game, because Nottingham Forest have a nice fixture against Wolves at home, and Wolves have a couple of injuries. So yeah, I think I would be in favour of Chris Wood in that aspect, Jenny. Dan says good morning. Good morning, Dan. Hope you're having a nice morning so far. Janez in the chat says, who should I bench, Solanke or Garnacho? Solanke or Garnacho? I'll probably bench Garnacho, even though, yeah, I think Solanke, in terms of what Bournemouth look more clinical than Man United do at the moment. Even though Garnacho did score against Liverpool, I still think I'll be in favour of Solanke because I don't trust Man United assets at the moment. I think anyone can score in their team. There's not really a main goal scorer for Man United either. So in terms of Solanke, he's a goal scorer for Bournemouth. He's scored the most goals for them, and yeah, I'll probably bench Garnacho, I think. Dan the man says, do you think Haaland gets 90 minutes? I don't think he will get 90 minutes. There's two scenarios. He either starts and plays maybe 60 or 70 minutes, or he gets benched and comes on for 20 or 30 minutes. So I think it's either going to go one way or the other, but I don't think he'll play 90 minutes for that game. Especially, depends on the way the game actually flows as well. If Man City kill off the game really early against Luton, then again, that's in terms of whether Haaland starts or not. I don't think he'll play the full 90 minutes just because of the fixtures midweek that Man City have played as well. Casera says hello. He said hello, Casera. Hope you're doing well. And Dan says nice haircut. Thank you, Dan. I haven't had a haircut in quite a while, and it was getting really, really tangled. But yeah, thank you for the comment. And you're welcome, Jenny, as well. Hopefully that helps with your team selection for Game Week 33. So, and Casera says, any updates if Gabriel is fine? I actually haven't heard of whether Gabriel wasn't fine, actually. I mean, he should be fine. I haven't heard otherwise about Gabriel, if you mean the Arsenal defender. And he's currently not flagged on FPL, and I haven't heard anything to say otherwise. But let me know, Casera's, what you mean by that, because I might have missed something in terms of whether he's not fine or not. Mr. Jobs says, buy Jose Sarr or Pickford this game week for the double in 34. Let's see. Well, I think I'll probably pick Pickford, if I'm honest. I don't think Sarr will keep a clean sheet in his double game week at all. But in terms of Everton's double in 34, they have Nottingham Forest and Liverpool. Both home fixtures, though. Probably not a clean sheet against Liverpool, but maybe one against Nottingham Forest at home. Whereas I think for Wolves, we double as well. Their one is arguably it's just as tough as Everton because they have Arsenal at home first and then Bournemouth at home after that. So they have two home fixtures, but I think I would favour Pickford because even if he doesn't keep clean sheets, he does get save points over Sarr, who hasn't really got going in terms of obviously clean sheets for Wolves and save points. So I'll probably favour Pickford for double game at 34. Plus, I think in terms of their price differences, I think Sarr is 5 million and Pickford is 4.7. So you are cheaper if money's an issue for that game week for you. You go with Pickford as well. So that's another consideration. But yeah, I'll probably stick to Pickford because you never know. Everton can get clean sheets where you least expect it as well against teams. And just to update on the Gabriel, it wasn't seen in training, but pinch of salt. Yeah, that is a pinch of salt. It is a concern as well when you don't see a player in training, whether he's fine or not. But again, I haven't really heard anything whether he isn't or not. But the fact that he has missed training though doesn't fill me with much confidence. But just in case he doesn't, just have a cover on the bench. I hope he is fine though, even though he missed training, because my bench options are very limited, as if none at the moment. But yeah, hopefully he should be fine. And Casellas, I heard that he was not in training yesterday. Was wondering if it was a concern. So either that one, I'm not. not be heard anything. But yeah, if he's not been in training, then yeah, that is an interesting one though. We'll keep an eye on that to see if there's any rumours that pop up with Gabriel, whether he starts or not. But yeah, that's a difficult one. Danaman says, I'm chasing and rushing with one of these. Gabriel to Lewis, Son to Foden, Salah to KDB, or Darwin to Werner / Tony. Well, the news on Tony, obviously, Frank has said he should play in his game against Sheffield. So in terms of that, I'll probably go Darwin to Tony, even though Brentford don't have a double coming up. But I like the fixture that Tony has against Sheffield because they will concede goals. It's a matter of who scores it for Brentford, and Tony's the most likely one to do it, especially on penalties as well. I think I would favour him if I was chasing rank as well. I think Tony's still a differential pick. And between him and Werner, I'm not really keen on Werner as a pick, but I do like Tony in that sense. And Gabriel to Lewis, that could be good against Luton at home. Clean sheet potentially there, especially if Gabriel's at the start. But I don't see a clean sheet for Arsenal against Aston Villa. So yeah, I like that move as well. Son to Foden. Just be careful with that one, but I should be fine to play. It's just with rotation, like I mentioned before, with Man City's midfield, does Foden play or not? Or is he rested for that Luton game? And Salah to KDB. I mean, he has Crystal Palace Salah, so I think I'd keep him and not bring in KDB. Because again, if you're bringing in Foden, I don't think I want KDB and Foden together in the midfield. I think maybe go for someone else and probably keep Salah, if I'm honest, because Salah, he finds a way to score these goals, and he's in a lot of our teams as well. I'll probably only do the Son to Foden move, keep Salah, and then bring in Darwin for Tony. Got a comment from Carl. Says, hi, Jordan. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing very well. Thank you. Any team news I just got here? Where, in terms of team news, is there any specific player you want to find team news out for? Because let me know, Carl, and I'll see if I can help you on that one. But at the current moment, Newcastle is the early kickoff, and we should hit team news very shortly on that one against Spurs. For those who have Newcastle and Spurs assets. Down the message should say I'm on the free hit 34-2. All right, so that does make sense then, bro. If you're free hitting a 34 or free hitting, 34, then doesn't really matter who you bring in or not, I suppose, for this game week. In that case, then I'd probably do all the moves that you mentioned. So yeah, I'll probably do Gabriel to Lewis, Son to Foden, Salah's KDB. Well, actually, instead of because you said all, I'd probably do I'll probably do Son to Foden, Darwin to Tony, and Gabriel to Lewis, and then obviously use your free hit in 34 for the players you want to bring in. Hamza says McAllister or Eze. I quite like Eze as a pick, even though he has a Liverpool this week, but he does have a double scheduled as well coming up. And I think I would like him for that double in 34 because he has West Ham at home and Newcastle at home, which are two decent fixtures, I think, where he could potentially get something out of, either if it's one or the other. And 3.2 ownership. And I think in terms of McAllister, I don't think I want to use a Liverpool slot on him. I'd probably prefer Diaz or someone else who's more prolific at scoring or assisting in terms of Liverpool's midfield and forward options. But yeah, I'll probably go Eze Hamza over that pick. Lich says, is it worth the bench boost next game week with Dubravka, Palmer, Gordon, and Taylor / Konza on the bench for -4? The squad being full of double players except of Haaland. So you got Dubravka, Palmer, Gordon, and Taylor / Konza on the bench for so you could bring in Konza for -4 to complete that bench. I mean, it's not bad bench to have really for that. Let me just check on obviously Newcastle's fixtures. I mean, in terms of Newcastle though, they don't have a double in 34. So Dubravka and Gordon will just have a single game week. And then yeah, Chelsea will as well. You're probably better bench boosting in 37 because Chelsea and Newcastle will have a double in 37 instead of 34 because they have single game week fixtures, and you're better off getting most of that bench boost out of players that will have 2 fixtures in one game week. So I'll probably save it Lich for 37 because if you have Dubravka, Palmer, and Gordon on the bench for that game week, then you'll have much more chance of gaining more points on that bench boost rather than using this week where they have single game week fixtures, and it does save you taking the -4 as well for that week because I don't think I'll take it on single game week players on the bench boost. Even though your squad is full of double players except Haaland, I think save that bench boost. Just go with the double players you have in your starting 11 and keep it for double game week 37. But it is your chip strategy, so use it when you feel is the right time to. But I'd probably save it until you have doubles on that bench. Or a -8 with Dubravka, Palmer on the bench boost. Yeah, no, I'll probably just do the first one. Just play your starting 11 who has doubles in 34 and then save your bench boost for later down the line, potentially in 37 when there's more double game week players. Elika says, morning Jordan. Good morning, Elika. I'm planning on taking a -4 to bring in Watkins and a midfielder. Any good midfielders for 6.7 and below, and taking a -4 worth it at this stage of the season? Well, it's always worth it, I think, taking a -4 if you bring in a player that is going to do very well, or you think is going to do really well this week, especially if you captain him as well. But yeah, in terms of midfielders, around 6.7 million. Let me just have a look who I think would be a good option to go for. Because I'd probably say you probably want a Brentford player in that midfield. And the one I'm looking at is in Burmo because he is 6.7 million exact. And I think he's probably the best midfielder pick this week with that fixture at 6 against Sheffield United in there. So yeah, I'll probably be going for in Burma if it was me. If you're on the -4 when you're bringing in Watkins as well, even though obviously Brentford don't have a double, and that might put people off. But in terms of this week and where we are at the stage of this season, I think just going with these players who are low owned and you think will score a lot of points is worth going for, because we have seen single game week players doing better over double game week players so far this season. So I'll probably take a punt on in Burmo on that -4. But bringing in Watkins as well, not a lot of people are going to do that. So I like that move too, Elika. We've got Juntel says, hello. Juntel, you do well. Neto, Saliba, Gabriel, Bradley, Saka, Salah, Gordon, Palmer, Foden, Haaland, Solanke, subs, Erila, Munez, Gusto, Sabani. Please help with lineup 2 free transfers, 2.8 million in the bank. Only wildcard and bench boost available. Need advice. So you've got Neto. I'm assuming that is the goalkeeper. Yeah, that is the goalkeeper. And you've got Saliba, Gabriel, Bradley in the back. So double Arsenal defence with a Liverpool player in there as well. And you've got Saka, Salah, Gordon, Palmer, Foden in the midfield. So you're running a full. Or you've got 5 midfielders plus 2 forwards, Haaland and Solanke as well, with Muniz on the bench. So yeah, a bit of a benching headache a bit in your team because you have really good players, even on the bench as well. But you do have 2 free transfers, so you do have to make a transfer, otherwise you'll burn one. In terms of advice, I would probably. It's a tricky one. I don't know if Bradley starts for Liverpool. Obviously, we saw Trent come back on the bench in their other competition against Atalanta. So that does put Bradley as a risk. Gabriel wasn't seen in training, which also is a concern, but obviously you've got bench cover for that. Anything happens there. The only thing I can see really is the goalkeeper, where you could make a goalkeeper transfer because you have Neto, who has Man United. So even though he has a double in 34, again, that's. Yeah, you have a double in 34, so you really take out him for that week. Probably not, but I don't see a clean sheet against Man United either. Trying to think where you could go different with this team. And you have your wild card and bench boost available. I'm assuming you'll use your bench boost later down the line. Your wild card, you'll use at some point. Yeah, I'll probably take out one of the Arsenal defenders for this week because they have Aston Villa at home and I don't see a clean sheet there. So you could. I know what you can do. Take out Saliba and bring in Reguilon, who has Sheffield United. I think that's what I'll probably do. Use one of your transfers, take out Saliba, bring in a Reguilon, and then you have a nice defender pick who has attacking threat as well. He did get 2 assists last game week, Reguilon, so I do like him as an option for this week against Sheffield. So yeah, I'll probably use that transfer on him. You have enough money to do that as well because he is cheap. So I'll probably save you even more money in the bank. And I probably would, because you've got Muniz as well on the bench. That's kind of I don't really want him on the bench. But that's a good bench option. I'll probably bench Gordon and play Muniz and see, because Muniz has West Ham. Gordon has Tottenham at home. So yeah, I'll probably do that as well as a switch. But yeah, hopefully that helps Jintel with your team. Caceres says, would be a difficult game this week for my team too. Sold off Son and Madison with 2 free transfers already to bring Haaland back in with a hit. Haven't bought Haaland, but don't know whether I still should. I think at this point Haaland's still important to own. Maybe you captain him or not. I don't think that matters at the current moment. Unless he scores a hat-trick against Luton, then we're probably going to perma captain Haaland after that. But I think for the time being, because Haaland's ownership is so high, there's always a possibility that he will score in any game he plays in. You probably want to bring Haaland in just in case of that, because his ownership is high, and just from his effective ownership, it can be difficult to catch rank and chase rank with him. Obviously, having his ownership in, almost everyone has him in the team as well. So, yeah, I'll probably bring Haaland back in, Caceres, I've read this comment out. Dan the man says, I'm only doing one of them. Currently thinking Lewis one. Seems minimal risk and good potential for upside. Imagine he scores, plays 60, gets subbed, and then City concede. Yeah, that would be that would be great, wouldn't it? If that actually happened. But yeah, I get what you mean. The Lewis one, it is minimal risk and good potential for upside. I see that there. I mean, yeah, if you have a really good gut feeling on that, then yeah, definitely go for it. Because I would be looking at that game and seeing if he does score and play 60 and get subbed, and then City concede. I'd probably think you got a fortune teller for that. But yeah, interesting plan. Got FPL Raps in the chat. Says Foden benched. So there you go, guys. There is confirmation from Raptors saying Foden is benched. So that might change some of your plans for you guys who obviously have Foden in your team. Luckily, I took him out last game week for it was either for Gordon or Son, but one of the two I did take him out for. So yeah, I'm glad that I don't have Foden because that is another headache less. But yeah, that's what I mean by Pep. He will rotate these midfielders for Man City. So bear that in mind, guys. If you're bringing a midfielder in or you have a Man City midfielder, make sure you have cover just in case of that. Carl says, I haven't Nuri and Foden, and they're both at flag. Well, we just have confirmation, Carl, that Foden is benched. And then the man says fake Raptor account. Well, double check that then in that case, if that information is not entirely true. Robert Crook says, bring in Raya for Dubravka or Havertz for Gordon. I'll probably keep Havertz because he's a good differential pick for Arsenal. And I wouldn't bring in Gordon because he has Tottenham at home. So I'll probably play Havertz against Aston Villa at home. You never know. And he has had a few goals in the recent game weeks as well. So yeah, he's been quite in good form for Arsenal. So I'll probably bring in Ray for Dubravka because Brentford's defense I don't really trust, but I don't really trust Newcastle's either. But I only choose Dubravka because of the double game week he has down the line. So yeah, I'll probably bring in Raya for. Well, actually no, yeah, no, I'll probably keep Dubravka. Sorry, Robert. No, I'll probably keep Dubravka because he has a double coming up, and Raya has only single game week. So even though they have a good fixture this week against Sheffield, I still don't trust them keeping a clean sheet against them. Because I've seen that before with Brentford. They conceded against newly promoted teams. I think they did against Burnley, and yeah, it didn't really pay off in that sense. So yeah, keep Dubravka and keep Havertz. I think those two are fine. We got Justin in the chat says, "Good day, brother. Would you bench either Solanke or White for Estupinian, or would you keep Estupinian benched?" I'll probably keep Estupinian benched because again, I don't. Xervi is a rotation problem as well with players, and Estupinian hasn't really given much this season since he returned from his injury. So yeah, I'll probably bench Estupinian in that sense. Yeah, probably bench Estupinian, Justin. I have 8 Nuri and Foden. They're both flagged, and Brady is a risk for Trent. Yeah, Brady is a flag. Brady is flagged for risk. Obviously, with Trent being back, as mentioned. So if you do have him, Bradley, just make sure you have another defender in case he doesn't start in that game against Crystal Palace at home. But it is unfortunate, the timing, because Bradley would be a nice asset to own, obviously, because welcome us. Us have joined us in the stream.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can't see myself on the stream. Hold on. Let me back out.
It's not the issue with your camera, it's the overlay.
Oh, yeah. If you change the overlay. Sorry, guys. I'm back in the stream. I know you probably can't see me right now, but I'll let Jordan change the overlay. So, yeah, sorry I'm a bit late to the stream. I actually had a dentist appointment. So that's why I am late to the stream. But yeah, Jordan, change the overlay over if you can.
Yeah, I just have to make a new one to change it. So bear with me, guys, for that moment.
Also, yeah, I was in the chat. I think I replied to a couple of messages, and I actually block a few spam comments as well. Just bear with me for a sec, guys. What were you discussing?
Just the risk with Trent coming back into the team, because the Bradley owners, they might miss out on obviously him in starting.
Yeah, I mean Yep, there you go, guys. So yeah, back in the stream. So sorry, guys, I'm for a bit late. I did have a dentist appointment and thought I'd come for join for the last 20 minutes. Yeah, with Bradley, I think he'll start this game week 33, but game week 34, which is a double, I would be wary of Bradley starting both the games. So yeah, Trent is back on the bench on Thursday, so he should be playing at least one of the games in the double. Which comment were you on next?
It was the that one. Up to that point.
Bench probably ain't Nuri, as he's flagged. There's a few comments actually coming in. Hold on. Kevish, 2 free transfers, free hit, bench boost, 0.1 in the bank. Kelleher, Petrovic, Udogi, Bradley, Gabriel, Van Heck, 8 Nuri, Salah, Son, Palmer, Foden, Haaland, Muniz, Isak. What would you do? Can take a -4 if needed. I'm assuming you're going to free hit in game week 34, so you want to set up for wildcard 35 essentially, and try catch the wildcard 35ers. So maybe someone like Man United asset, maybe an Onana in goal, and then bench him for this week. Maybe a Garnacho and bench him this week as well, just so you sort your bench order out, so you can actually have a good team for game week 35 onwards. And Man United are going to have a double in 37. You could look at bringing in someone like a Dan Burn if you don't have a Newcastle defender. Maybe take out someone like 8 Nuri for Dan Burn and just bench Dan Burn this week, which is actually what I'm doing, which I'll come on to my team. Ali Mac as well with a comment. Foden to Mbermo, worth it?
Yeah, could be worth it, because Mbermo has a nice fixture against Sheffield United, so I wouldn't rule him out for that one. Compared to, obviously, Foden has to do it at home, but again, Pep rotation. Does Foden start or not? We don't know, and we probably won't find out that information. So we know Mbermo is going to start. He's nailed for Brentford. Yeah. So yeah, probably do that if you're chasing rank as well.
If it depends as well what your chips are. If you don't have the chip, I like Luis Diaz because he's got a double next week. Foden to Diaz could work. Let me pull up my team though. I've actually done my 2 moves, guys. So just before I came onto the stream, I confirmed both my transfers. So I'll show you guys what my team is looking like currently. I should bear with me for a second. So you'll see maybe an interesting player that's come into my team to start. Don't know how I feel about it, but I'll explain what I've done. So I've done 2 free transfers. For those with the keen eye will have noticed I have taken out 8 Nuri and bought in Dan Burn. Dan Burn sits on my bench, as you can see, 3rd bench. He's just for future weeks, but I want him in the future, so I bought Dan Burn in early. And then the one that I'm not sure about, but I've done it anyway, is I've taken out Darwin and I've bought in Hoyland at Man United, who's got Bournemouth away this week. So those are the two moves I've made. And just to confirm what my bus team or my team actually is going into game week 33, you got Kelleher, you got a back three of Gusto, Van Heck, and Gabriel. You got midfield four of Salah, Saka, Son, Palmer. And then front three, I've got Isaac, Hoyland, and Darwin. Sorry, not Darwin. Isaac, Hoyland, and Haaland, captain. Darwin's gone out of the team. I put the armband on Haaland. I've got a vice captain, Salah. That's where I'm going to be going unless we hear Haaland's not starting, which I don't think we're going to get. And on the bench, I've got Petrovic, Garnacho, Udogi, and Dan Burn. And then I am on a free hit 34. So next week, I'll free hit the likes of Darwin in or Diaz, whatever Liverpool assets I want. So that's why I've got rid of Darwin, because from game week 35 onwards, I wouldn't want Darwin anyway. It's just for this week and next week. But yeah, I mean, that's why I've gone Hoyland, but it's one of those. What do you think of the moves, Jordan? Because obviously, I'm not sure about selling. I actually think Darwin could go big now. I've sold him.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting actually for you to bring in a Man United asset. I know they obviously double down further down, but yeah, playing the Man United asset against Bournemouth away, that's quite interesting, especially the play you took out for obviously Darwin. He's got Crystal Palace at home. That's it'll be interesting. That works.
My only hope is that Darwin only gets one goal max if he punishes me. You know, if he gets one goal, I'll take it. If he gets two or three, then obviously there would be a big issue. But it's more like I expect Darwin to actually outscore Hoyland this week. It's more for the future. I think in the next 4 or 5 game weeks, I expect Hoyland to outscore Darwin over a longer period. So that's why I've gone early on it. Because as you guys know, I have 2 free transfers this week. And if I didn't use one, it would get burned. And I didn't want to burn a transfer. That's why I've done it. Because in my opinion, obviously, Darwin's a much better pick this week. You know, home game at Palace when Hoyland's got Bournemouth away. So I've done it just because of I didn't want to burn a transfer. A lot of people are in the chat saying Foden to start, which is, if you've got Foden, I would be keeping him, guys. Personally, I just think against Luton at home, that is potentially a haul-worthy game for him. You know, could get a hat trick, could get who knows. So, yeah, I'm just seeing if I see any leaks. I don't see any leaks, but yeah, if he starts, then I think I would be keeping Foden personally, than taking that risk with it. But I do like this move, Foden to Diaz, especially if you don't have a free hit next week, because we know Diaz does double. Bradley to Delo. Thoughts as Bradley will probably not get any more mins anymore. I expect Bradley to start this game week, Hamza. So if you've got Bradley, I'd keep him and then get rid of him in game week 34 and see what happens, because Trent isn't ready to come onto the pitch yet. Klopp did say he was on the bench, but it was just to make up the numbers. He was never going to come on. So Bradley will probably start against Palace. Watkins to Haaland be the best choice. Then I would need bench one of Sarabia, McAllister, Saka, Solanke, Darwin. Yeah, I mean Haaland against Luton. I wouldn't want to be not owning Haaland for that game. I mean, who you want captaincy? I've actually seen your team.
Captain's currently on Palmer and vice on Salah at the moment.
Okay. Are you pretty locked on that?
Not entirely locked. You could switch in the last few minutes, but at the current moment, I'm not sure who else but Haaland and Salah to captain.
Oh, okay. There is a leak. Haaland and Foden start. So yeah, Foden does start, guys. If you've got him, keep him. Don't remove him definitely for this sort of game, because he could get a hat trick in this game. We've seen it. I mean, he's punished me, Foden, a couple of times when I've benched him and he's got a hat trick, or I've sold him and he's got a hat trick. So I think this is one of the great fixtures, and him starting is big. Would it be a good idea to sell Son to Diaz? I wouldn't be selling Son personally. The reason is, I mean, what would you be doing?
I'd probably keep Spurs assets, even though they have a blanket 34. They're still good after that game week, because I believe as well
they have double 35 and double 37.
Yeah, they have 2 doubles up afterwards, so I'll be keeping Spurs assets.
The doubles aren't great. Like the double in 35 is Arsenal and Chelsea, and then in gaming 37 is Burnley at City, but it is a double nonetheless. So I wouldn't personally be selling Son. I'd rather sell anyone else but Son, really, with 2 doubles coming up. I'd rather sell Saka. I know that's a mad shout because obviously how good Saka's been, but I would rather sell Saka personally over someone like a Son, just because of the doubles. Start Foden over whom? You got to bench Solanke, I'd say. You play Havertz, you play Gordon, you play Palmer. So it's a tough one, but I'd probably bench Solanke against Man United. But yeah, it's a tough one.
I'll probably do the same. Obviously, before the stream ends, I will do my transfer moves, I think, because I'm pretty locked on with those. So let me just share my other screen and talk you through what I'm going to do. So I've got 1 free transfer, obviously 2.0 million in the bank, and I'm going to do a defender transfer this week. So I'm going to take out Ake, and I'm going to bring in Regulon in the team. And yeah, that's a 1 free transfer, and that leaves me with 2.6 million in the bank. Plus, I have no bench options now that Semenyo has been ruled out, so I do need a replacement. And I think Regulon is the best one I can go with for this game week. So let me just make the transfer. So Ake out, Regulon in for 1-3-1, and that is confirmed. I'll just switch over to the other team, refresh, and let's put Regulon in the team. So I'll probably bench Doughty because he has the toughest fixture against Man City, which I don't think he'll get much out of that. And there you go, guys. That is my team locked for game week 33.
Okay, lovely. So there you go, guys. Jordan's plans. Bought in Regulon. I have a question for yourself, guys, in the chat, and also for you, Jordan. Obviously, I've bought Højlund in. Big differential. I think his ownership is 5.2%. Would you start Højlund or would you start Garnacho?
I'll probably start Højlund over Garnacho. Yeah,
because I'm thinking. I mean, I'm actually thinking, should I just start Garnacho? I feel like he got more. He feels like he's got more goals than Højlund this season. He's more of a threat, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
He has had more goal involvements over Højlund, I think, in recent game weeks. But
yeah,
if you were to bench Højlund and play Garnacho, who would you put on the bench in place for him?
I'd bench Højlund. Who do I bench, Højlund or Garnacho? I'll only play one of the Man United assets. Who would you play?
Oh, okay.
I'll play the 5 midfield.
I'll probably play the 5 midfield, actually.
You play Garnacho over Højlund?
Yeah, I'll probably play 5 in the midfield.
Yeah, let me know in the chat, guys. Would you play Garnacho or would you play Højlund? Because I'm not sure.
Yeah, because Højlund has been a bit quiet.
He did score 2 against Chelsea, didn't he? Garnacho got 2 against West Ham, 2 against. It seems like when Garnacho scores, he gets 2. He gets a brace.
Yeah.
Every game he scored, he's got either 2. He's got 7 goals, 5 assists, right? And Garnacho has 7 goals, 5 assists. They actually have the same. That's the same page. My bad. 7 goals and 2 assists. So if we look at the expected goal involvement as well, Garnacho's Højlund's 0.05 against Liverpool. Shockingly low. 0.14, 0.08. I mean, it's not great. I mean, he went on that patch where he scored a lot of goals, but then he's all quieting down in the last few games. However, he did have some tough fixtures, Liverpool, Chelsea, Brentford, City, which he didn't play against. I mean, he did come back off an injury. When I look at Garnacho, though, Garnacho's XG is a lot better, really. He's more involved, it seems.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to play Garnacho.
Yeah, probably in that sense. Probably Garnacho is the better pick because Højlund has been quiet and not really seen much in games when I've watched Man United games. Seems more isolated. But yeah, Garnacho has seen more of the action. and the chat is also agreeing with Garnacho too.
Yeah. I don't even think Hoyland's a great pick for this week. It's more for 37, which is the reason why I've bought him in. Because in 37, he's got Arsenal and Newcastle, 2 home games, which I do want to play him for on my bench boost. But I just feel like at his ownership, 5.2%,
Yeah, and if he can get from that game is a huge rank booster.
What's Garnacho's one? 11%. So he's still going to be a differential. Yeah, it is a tricky one. I think when I watch Man United play, it's like Garnacho is more of the. Yeah, it just suits more. I don't
know. Yeah, there aren't many exceptional players for Man United that look dangerous, but I'll say probably Garnacho is an exceptional one of those players compared to Hoyden.
Yeah. Let me have a look. Yeah, I'm going to play Garnacho. There you go. I'm going to switch out Garnacho. Elika also saying, as a Man United fan, Garnacho is our most threatening player. Hoyland is 50-50. Caceres, Garnacho as well. So yeah, let me play Garnacho. Bench Hoyland. Which it's just weird because the 2 transfers I've done, Burn and Hoyland, they're both on the bench.
Yeah.
So essentially, I feel like I've weakened my team this week by essentially I'm starting Garnacho over Darwin. I had Darwin in my first 11, and I've taken Darwin out so I can play Garnacho essentially, which it doesn't look great. But it is for the future weeks where I'm going to bench boost. I'm hoping Hoyland can stay fit until then.
Like, you never know. It could pay off. Garnacho could probably get something out of that game, and then it doesn't look as bad if he doesn't blank.
Yeah, I just need Hoyland now to blank, which
is quite possible.
Yeah, we'll see. Everyone's saying Garnacho in the chat. I was also considering it, going Garnacho. But anyway, yeah, that's all the question I had really. Anything else? Your team? Or
it's just captaincy. I don't know. Palmer's a good captain this week against Everton. It's a tough one to call. I don't want to captain Haaland or Salah because they're kind of obvious ones. So I want to go with a different captain, but I don't know who to go for because the fixtures aren't great for it. The rest of the players.
Yeah, I think Haaland is probably going to be the most popular option this week. I don't think Salah is going to be that popular though, because I think some people might be put off by Liverpool right now. Obviously,
yeah,
the Europa game. Maybe some people are put off Salah. I don't know, but it could pay off if you do even go Salah. But Liverpool's certain games have been a bit misfiring, so it's up to you really. I think Palmer is a good shout anyway, because Palmer has scored in every game this season, I think, in the last few games, apart from Liverpool and City where he blanked. Every other game usually gets a return, so.
Yeah, that is true. How long's left? So there is 7.
You got about 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, 6 minutes to go. So yeah, I'll be thinking about that.
Yeah, I don't know about playing Garnacho though. That's my only thing. Garnacho against Bournemouth or Hoyland. I feel like this could make or break this week, that Garnacho decision. If Hoyland goes and has a good game, then yeah.
Yeah, it could go either way, I think, for that one, but it's more in favour of Garnacho. If we look back at both the players.
Yeah, my gut is saying Garnacho, I think, to answer Harry's question. I think my gut is saying Garnacho, because when I've watched Man United in the last 3 or 4 weeks, Garnacho's looked the more threatening player. Hoyland looks like I can't even think if Hoyland had a shot on target in the last 3 or 4 matches when I've watched him play. He barely gets a shot off. So yeah, I know what, I'm gonna go with Garnacho. I think the only thing in my head really is that I should play Hoyland because he's more expensive and he's a striker. So, but I think Garnacho's done well when I've played him. So I'm gonna back Garnacho in this one and see how it goes for double game week 34. Mayor Bread Casey Definitely start Raya, I think. I mean, it depends. If you've got an Arsenal defender already, maybe you want to cover Chelsea because Chelsea do have Everton at home. But I'd rather back Arsenal keeping a clean sheet over Chelsea. Hoyland gets no service. Yeah, I hear that. I mean, Garnacho and Rashford are quite greedy in the sense that when they get the ball, they like to shoot. So yeah, I think I'll stick on Garnacho. Does anyone know if Rashford's back? By the way, he is, isn't he?
Rashford. Not sure.
Cool. Let us know, guys, in the chat. I believe Rashford's back. Yeah. So Man United are pretty much a counter-attacking team. That's why Garnacho does thrive, because he's got that pace. He's out ball on that side, on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, wherever he plays. So yeah, I think the chat's also swayed me. Go Garnacho. I was thinking it, to be fair, but I do like Hoyland for that double 37. I would have preferred what's his name at Chelsea. Striker
Nicholas
for Jackson. I would have preferred Jackson for the double 37, but I'm just worried about bringing him in because he's on, I think, 9 yellows. One more yellow, he's going to miss 2 games, which I don't want to take the risk. And I've got triple Chelsea anyway, so I think Hoyland made sense.
Yeah.
Start Pickford or Neto. Probably Pickford.
Pickford, yeah.
I don't know. It's a tough one.
All struggle, so probably put my faith in Pickford, even though there's no clean sheet there. But you never know with Everton. They do pull off some surprising clean sheets.
From above, which one do you think to bench? Mac Allister, Saka, Solanke, Sarabia, Darwin. It's got to be Sarabia. Who do they have? Wolves. Let me have a look. Wolves play Forest away, so it would be Sarabia. I wouldn't be benching any of the Liverpool assets or Arsenal assets, personally. So yeah, it's got to be Sarabia for me.
Yeah, going back to my team, I have gone with a different captain, and I have gone with Muniz.
Oh, again.
I've gone with him again, even though he had obviously a blank last game week, and I did captain him for. This is the last game week I'm probably going to have Muniz for, so I'm going to captain him one last time. Yeah, and see if it does pay off against West Ham away.
West Ham did play on Thursday, so
yeah, that's my decent. For. Yeah, because they played on midweek. It could be burnt out a bit for that game. So here we go. It's because I either make or break my rank.
What's your plans next week in terms of transfers? Because you'll have one, right?
Yeah, I'll have one. I kind of wish I had 2 again because it's a double game week, but didn't want to take the risk with having no bench again because of Semenyo being injured.
Yeah,
and that's put a spanner in the works. So,
how many doublers do you have next week? Do you know?
No, I'm not sure how many doublers I've got next week. Probably not many.
But we'll check on FPL.team. We'll check on that.
Yeah.
All right, you got to lock your team in, Jordan, because there is only a minute left. I'm just going to double check. I've locked my team in.
Yeah, my team is locked and saved.
Yeah, I've got Garnacho playing now. I hope that doesn't go wrong, basically, because if it does, then it'd be a bit annoying. But I am playing Garnacho over Hoyland. And then I've got you, Doggy, and Burn on the bench, who play each other. I'm quite happy with the way I'm set up, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think the team looks okay.
Yeah, it's a good team set up for the double, I think, next week. In terms of next week for me, though, in terms of how many doubles I have 5 playing doubles.
Okay. Odegaard and Burn to Fernandez and Dunk for 1 week punt. Fernandez could, 1 week punt. I mean, I'd prefer Odegaard over Fernandez, so I don't know why you'd be taking out an Arsenal player right now. If you've got Odegaard, he's a great differential. So I would be erring on the side of keeping someone like Odegaard or even bringing in Havertz, his teammate. So who's your doublers next week? You've got Gabriel, Salah, Saka.
And I'll just go back to the other one. Brantwaite. And it
Brantwaite,
would be
did he double?
Yeah, he got Nottingham Forest Liverpool at home in
Oh, yeah.
34. But actually, because of Semenyo being out injured, he was my 5th double, so I only have 4. So I forgot. Obviously, Semenyo is not going to play because he is flagged. And I don't think he'll be ready for next week.
Okay.
So I'm not many double players for me.
I should have 11 doublers next week. Well, obviously I'm going to free hit, so I'm going to free hit 11 doublers, but I'm probably going to go without any. I mean, City have Brighton away. Now, how many City players am I going to have in the team? It's going to be interesting because obviously I don't have. If I want to have 11 doublers, then do I go with that Haaland? I don't think I will at this stage. Probably include Haaland in my, so I maybe won't have 11 doublers, but I'll have to see what I do because I'm excited for this free hit. Hopefully, it works out.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to because all the free hit players have an advantage over me because I've already used it, and I'm not going to have that many double game week players, whereas a lot of people have 10 or 11 in their team. So I'm just hoping the single game week players aren't blown away by the double game week ones.
You've still got another. What chip have you got left?
Just the bench boost, which I'll probably use in 37. I can't use it at the moment because the bench is a mess.
Yeah, you can't use that right now.
No.
But yeah, guys, we've just passed the deadline. Hopefully you guys have locked your teams in. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the week of football. Or weekend of football, I should say. Some good games in there. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, I think, for Knee Jerk Stream, as always, on a Sunday to discuss how our game week 33 has gone. And then we'll also do like a free hit draft, probably. Well, I'll show you guys what I'm doing for free hit, which I'm looking forward to. And then, yeah, and wildcard 35 is a popular strategy as well. A lot of people are going to be wildcarding 35. So make sure you guys do tune in for all of that content, guys. It's to come. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure if you haven't already, hit that like button, guys, if you are enjoying the content. Anything else you want to add, Jordan?
Just to put in Elika's last comment, did in Bremer Watkins for -4, and hopefully the suggestions work. Yeah, hopefully they do work, Elika, for you for that -4. It should do. It's 2 good players with nice fixtures, even though Watkins has Arsenal. But yeah, hopefully it works out for you, and good luck for this week and for the rest of you as well. Have a nice weekend. Take care, and we'll see you Sunday to see how well, obviously, you've done and how well our teams have done also. So till then, have a nice day.
Yep. Take care, guys, and enjoy your weekend.